Dear Bully, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I definitely remember you. You were my first real bully. The boy who made me fear getting out of bed in the mornings, who made me dread the end of the weekends because I'd have to see you the next day, and who prompted me to take self-defense classes. I never knew boys could be so cruel until I met you. It was middle school, 7th grade for me, 8th grade for you. And we rode the same bus together every morning and afternoon. We didn't know each other. To this day, we've still never had a full conversation. We didn't hang out in any of the same circles. We weren't on any opposing clubs or teams. So you had no reason to hate me. But you still did. Or at least you treated me as though you did. Bullying can come in all sorts of shapes and forms. It can be as overt as a punch in the face or as subtle as a whispering campaign. Only a daily average of 160,000 children miss school because they fear they will be bullied if they attend classes. Surprised? Why? Bullying has not only been around for years, but it's been one of the leading causes for suicide attempts. A child commits suicide as a direct result of being bullied once every half hour, with 19,000 bullied children attempting suicide over the course of 1 year. Coming from bullying throughout her years of school, Grace goes through a series of emotional, mental, and physical abuse by a boy from her school. She quickly becomes a target wherever she goes and wonders, what's wrong with her? Dear Bully, a compilation of writing edited by Kelley and Kassie. I remember the first time I saw you. Slick dark hair, designer jeans, high top sneakers, and a leather jacket. That one outfit probably cost more than my entire wardrobe at the time. Was it my lack of style that made me a target? Or the fact that I didn't fight back too hard? At first, it was just name calling. Stupid, ugly, weirdo, you're so worthless. I stare out the window of the bus, trying not to show any hint of emotion, even though I could feel it all over my reaction. Don't cry. Don't cry, I tell myself. Don't let anyone see you cry. I bite the inside of my cheek, just shy of drawing in blood, wishing that you'd get bored when I didn't respond. But instead, you got more people involved. Other boys, not all, were drawn to you and helped you with your ridicule. I'd be called a stuck-up snob when I didn't respond to you, and a nasty piece of trash when I did. Before you started pushing me from behind, shoving me into the street at the bus stop, tugging at my hair, pulling at my clothes, and slapping me in the back of my head. One day, I just remember getting up, tears streaming down my face, and wondering, how could anyone be so cruel? It was hard for my mom to ever tell us I was having. She was working a full and part-time job and couldn't pick me up. She begged a principal to have a teacher stick around after school until the bus came. The principal agreed, but it never happened. My mother told him that you were the one harassing me and that it was his job to ensure a safe environment for children. Again, he agreed, but again, he did nothing. People told me if I ignored you, if I acted like you didn't bother me, eventually you move on to the next victim. So why didn't that ever happen? You didn't think that would cause me to run home and cry for hours because I was beginning to believe the names you called me. I was stupid. I was weird. I was gross. I was ugly, and I didn't deserve any better. You can't take it personally, Grace. Kelley said, wiping the tears from my cheeks, my chin, and my neck with her soft hand. I wanted to die. I wanted to die. I remember so little, but I remember so clearly. Because of him, I wanted to die. I imagined removing myself from the pain and the horrible people around me. It sounded so peaceful. It sounded like a plan. After all, no one cared about me. No one would even notice I was gone. Then I realized they'd win, and I'd be helping them win. They'd go to my funeral and say things like, oh, she was such a nice girl, and I wish I would have gotten to know her better. They shed tears of fear of their own mortality and swear that they were tears for me. And a month later, no one would remember my name. If you weren't there to bully, it would just be someone else. You're going to be stronger and happier after you live through this. I promise you. How could she have been so wrong? In the darkness of the hallway, I spilled invisible blood, unable to protect myself from the sharp, stinging of insults you threw at me. In the darkness, I cried. In the darkness, I wished. Suicide was not the answer. But for many, many years, I wouldn't know what the answer was. My world seemed to be spinning off its axis. I was drowning in painful torrents of emotion. I walked home alone every day, praying for a miracle. Please make this all about you. Please, God. Please. But the next day, nothing had changed. You didn't think you were a bully. You were just having fun. You didn't think you hurt me, and if you did, it wasn't your fault. You didn't know I'd take it so hard. You didn't think. Did I want to die? No. Did I want the pain inside of me to stop? Yes. I made a decision. I wasn't going to be the coolest kid in school, nor would I wear the expensive clothes or date the popular boys. But I was going to be me. I realized I am so much more than those insecure bullies ever deemed me to be. I'm special, weird, and wonderful, all rolled into one. And I always have been. Dear bully, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I definitely remember you. I think it was because of the way you treated me. I learned what really mattered. It was because of the way you treated me. I learned how to be my own person, have my own opinion, and stand my ground. It's at least partially because I survived you. I learned how to be the person I am today. And I like me. My self-worth is not linked to your cruel words and actions. My self-esteem is not affected by your deliberate attempts to destroy my character. You have no power over me. You will not silence me.